businesses? Trash. That's your business. That's you. You, sir, are trash. Go run. Go make some money. Go get abs. Go do something with your life instead of just being on TikTok all day.
So the plan for Archi is to get really good at short form content creation. So you might have seen on the YouTube video this past week or the past couple weeks, I've been posting short form content, but these short form videos have been, contractors, people I've been paying to make the videos. What I'm starting to do now, and what I started to do yesterday, which is the first video that I actually edited short form wise. I watched a video on it, I learned how to do it, and that video is doing extremely well because I put a lot of time and effort into it. But what I really want from this is to get so good at it so that I can use those skills to build the educator, the enterprise educator account, where we're going to be helping them make short form videos based off the courses that they create. So let's say they have 30 minutes of content on a course that they've created, and they have 5 minutes of it is free. Like the first video of each section would be free. Anyone can see it. So then why not repurpose that free content and blast on the social media platforms? So what I'm doing is trying to build my personal brand by learning short form content, getting really good at it, and then translating those skills into the other enterprise educators that sign up for it and make money off that. And then also, that's twofold for us, because we're going to make money when that person comes back and buys courses, and then what the educator is also paying us to do the content. So it's a twofold experiment. So we kind of become a content creation agency in a way, but we're also reaping the benefits of the thing that they're creating as well. So it's a twofold thing. I think it's a really good idea, and I just got to get good at it. So that's the plan. Now, the other thing I tried to learn this week was thumbnails, and thumbnail creation is so much harder than I ever thought it was going to be. I just looked at YouTube thumbnails and thought, oh, it's just a couple graphics. No, man, like there's so many, like drop shadows, highlighting, a bunch of shit that goes into it. So my plan is to learn short form content creation, because I think that's a higher ROI for me at this stage, because I can use that, take that to Archi, like I just mentioned in the first section. So I think I'm gonna, keep paying people to make thumbnails, try and make them simple, and hopefully find someone that can get better and better. But eventually I want to be doing it all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making the thumbnails for these videos. So every video you see for Archi will be a thumbnail made by me. And then I'll probably explain on here when I switch, but eventually all the thumbnails will be made by me. And then once the content scales and Archi scales, I'll have to, outsource that. But I'm doing it this way so that it's like my vision, right? Because a lot of times especially now when I've been paying people to, make thumbnails for me, or, just build a short form video, it kind of gets lost. Like the creativity gets lost in it, because I'm just kind of paying somebody to do it, as opposed to me learning the skill and then teaching somebody how to, teaching somebody the skill that helps them, build the content for me. Because when you're, every component of the business, you can kind of create the whole thing yourself. When you're just paying people to do portions of the business, and as it scales, you have to pay people, yes, of course. But when you don't understand how something in the business works, you become vulnerable. For instance, if you were a car company, let's say Henry Ford didn't know how the alternator worked, right? That thing blows up. He doesn't know how to fix it. He has to go back to that guy and ask him, why is this not working? In the same way, in the short form content, if video is blowing up, if a video is doing poorly, I thought would do well, I'm not going to know why unless I'm editing myself. So I want to get to a point where I've done everything the YouTuber has done, and then eventually I can, outsource it as my dollars per hour increase. Okay, the last thing is the book I'm reading, which is Think and Grow Rich, which I'm kind of perplexed. So I've just now gotten around to reading it, and the first two chapters really stuck out to me, of, desire being the first one, and then faith And desire is always a weird word because you hear in a lot of the Asian wisdom, especially Buddhist wisdom, Taoists like Miyamoto Musashi, Lao Tzu, they all say like desire is all sufferings, desire is sufferings. Um, but I really like Naval Ravikant's point of yes, they're completely right. Desire is suffering. That's they call it wisdom for a reason. It's applied knowledge. They know what they're talking about. But what really stuck out to me is you don't want to desire nothing because we're brought up in a depending on the country. For me, it's like America. Some of the stuff that's it's drilled into me is never going to go away. Um, so it's navigating life knowing that desire is suffering. And what he says to do is just desire a few things. Like you want to desire to have a good family, make sure they're healthy, make sure they're taken care of. Um, you want to desire a few things. You don't want to care about whether the washing machine broke today or whether it's raining. You don't want to desire a bunch of things because you want the least suffering possible with the most benefits. So you want to suffer for the things that actually matter, which is family, monetary to take care of the family, to travel, whatever people want. That's really, I think people should get down to the root of what they really want, which is what I'm really trying to do is just get down to the most basic things of what I really want and make it simple, make it a few things so that I can really focus on them. Because if you have a bunch of things you want, your attention's scattered. When you're looking for a few things, you're more often than not going to get further along in those because your sole focus is them. So for me, that focus is really geared towards, family, in terms of like immediate family, other family members, also friendships, relationships. That's really important to me. And then money to take care of, the future family I have, and then also to get out of the shitter. Like I don't want to be working a 9 to 5. It's not like I think what people misunderstand about getting out of the rat race is it's not. Uh, we don't want to not work anymore. We all love working. That's the reason why we're working so hard. If we didn't love it, we'd probably have dropped out by now and we'd just be working 9 to 5 and be complaining about like the rest of the people. The reason I think we do it is because I want to be able to do the work I want out of love and just be able to do the work I want and not have to worry about, paying bills. It's just, I'm just doing it out of love and out of, what I actually want to do, as opposed to, going to my sales job and having to be there, having to make the numbers, having a boss tell me what to do, what to say. It's just like there's a very fine line in it, and there's an element of freedom, an element of peace when you can just do whatever you want. And that life may have work involved in it, it may not. Someday it may just be me working extremely hard on myself as an athlete. Maybe that day comes. Um, Maybe I build Archi for 40 years. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know is that I'll always want freedom and peace. And that's just, those are things worth suffering for to me. So that's it for this one. See you next week.